You ever look at your desk, the one piled high with books and papers, and then you glance over at your computer where your digital files are just perfectly structured, and you think to yourself, am I inconsistent? Well, turns out there's a fascinating reason for this, and we're going to get right into it. Yeah, if that sounds familiar, you are so not alone. This whole feeling of being a walking contradiction, total chaos in your physical space, but complete meticulous order in your mental space, it's a really common trait. And get this, it is not a flaw. In fact, it might just be a sign that you have a highly efficient mind. So here's how we're going to break this all down. We'll start with what this paradox is all about. Then we'll look at your brain's energy budget, compare different ways of thinking, explore what's really motivating you, and finally, we'll talk about how to just embrace your own functional chaos. All right, first up, the organized chaos paradox. This is all about finally making sense of that so-called inconsistent neatness. Why can you be so tidy in some areas of your life and, well, a total whirlwind in others? Okay, so the key idea here has a name, selective organization. And what's so important to get is that this isn't about being lazy, not at all. It's an instinctive trait. Your brain is actively and smartly choosing to focus its energy on the stuff that really moves the needle. Big ideas, complex projects, while totally ignoring the things that are just surface level. And, this whole idea of being selective, it leads us right into our next point. Your brain is working with a limited energy budget. It's all about getting the most bang for your cognitive buck. Just think of your mental energy like a phone battery. It's a finite resource, right? Well, a high-functioning mind instinctively refuses to waste it. So that precious energy gets funneled into the heavy lifting, complex problem solving, deep thought, structuring big ideas. And it's actively pulled away from things the brain flags as, frankly, a waste of time, like surface-level tidiness. It's a strategic trade-off. So why does your brain do this? Well, this kind of energy management isn't random at all. It actually comes from a very specific style of thinking. And that brings us to the psychology behind it all, the difference between a flexible mind and a rigid one. So people who are selectively organized are often doing something called cognitive reflection. Instead of just seeing a mess and having that knee-jerk reaction, oh, I should clean this, you pause. Your brain asks, wait a second, does cleaning this desk right now actually help me solve this massive problem I'm working on? Is it truly necessary for my goals? And if the answer is no, your brain gets right back to what really matters. And this comparison just makes it crystal clear. A rigid mind operates on this black and white all or nothing thinking. It follows the rules just because they're the rules. But a flexible mind, your brain, it questions why. It values function over form. It gets the nuance of what we call functional chaos. It's not about being messy for the sake of it. It's about being effective. Now, this behavior also reveals something pretty deep about your motivations. It really boils down to a simple question. Whose approval are you looking for? Are you playing for an external audience or for your own internal scoreboard? This points to a really powerful psychological concept. You probably have a strong internal locus of evaluation. Now that's a mouthful, but all it means is that your sense of self-worth doesn't come from what other people think is orderly or correct. Nope. It comes from the quality of your own ideas, your own standards, your achievements. You are the judge of your success, not what society expects a tidy desk to look like. I love this line. It means you're not performing tidiness for some imaginary audience. You're actually creating a mental environment of peace that lets you do that deep, meaningful work. And it doesn't matter what the space around you looks like. So let's bring this all home. It's time to stop apologizing for your process and just start embracing your functional chaos. Because this isn't a weakness that needs to be fixed. It's a core feature of how your incredibly efficient mind operates. Okay, first thing you have to get straight in your head, you are not inconsistent. This whole idea that you have to be perfectly uniform in all areas of your life is a total myth. What you are is mentally efficient. You are instinctively and intelligently allocating your most precious resource, your cognitive energy, to the exact places where it will have the biggest impact. And really, that's the bottom line here. Your mess is not some kind of moral failing. It is evidence that your brain is busy prioritizing something way more important. You are simply wired for deeper thinking. So I want to leave you with this question. Take a look around at your own functional chaos. What is that one thing you've been told is a flaw, a mess in your life that might actually be pointing directly to where your brain is doing its most powerful and important work. Think about it.